Jump in and uh, how do I say? Let me jump in and try to elaborate that. Like being comfortable, it can mean being rich.
Yeah.
You know, the meaning comfortable, being comfortable has a very it has broad meanings, and you're being comfortable mean you're also being rich to some extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, good question. Carry on. Sorry, what was the question again? The right to tell out?
What is the purpose of living?
Purpose of living is just living, I guess. Since we all should be live in the present, and we should not live in the past nor the future, and we don't know how to say that. We don't know when we will die, and it is possible that tomorrow or next year or like that. So we should enjoy our life.
Yeah. So, Phoebe.
You guys need to speak a bit louder,
Phoebe.
as if you're like speaking.
You live for yourself?
Yes.
For what?
Not for just to be rich,
Rich?
to make more money.
Money? All about money?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I want to be useful to the earth, more like the humankind. I don't want our humankind to go extinct. Like in 3 or 2 billion years, the sun will explode. So we have to find a new planet to. Yeah, that's.
And how do you plan to do that? Exactly.
Well, I can be useful by, just making them some food or just kind of like a servant to them. I don't mind as long as I'm useful. Yeah.
So you like to be in service of others.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So now I'll ask you follow-up question. A follow-up question is so you said you want to be of service of others and you want to do something about something to prevent human race extinction.
Yes.
And do you think it's achievable?
Of course.
How?
Mm.
Like, I mean, you said in 2 billion years
Yeah.
the sun will explode, but our human life, our life expectancy is like
Yeah.
90 years top,
Yeah.
and 90 years versus 2 billion years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan to achieve your grand master plan of prevention of the human race extinctions? How do you plan to achieve?
Well, I know that I'm not gonna be alive by that time, but I'm kind of like I believe in the life after death.
Mhm.
So like, if I, yeah, if I have to, if I, no. If I were born into this world again, this like human, yeah, I wanna be, yeah.
You want to be what?
I also, I will, I will, I will always want to be useful.
Mm.
Yeah, the reason why I don't want human to go extinct is like more like even if I don't know the answer of the universe, the entire universe, I want my grandchild or my relatives, yeah, them to know, and yeah.
Well, it was a trick question and a difficult one to answer because I wanted you all to understand that the collective effort. So the task itself the preventions of human race extinctions is not achievable by one person
Yeah.
in a short amount of time. I mean, short amount of time could be like 200 years or 1,000 years, even so. But you know, like collective efforts, if people work work together to achieve that goals, we can definitely achieve it, and we can only contribute to that. That's what I'm trying to um, say. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. So we cannot do that by ourselves, but we gotta do that collectively. So good. So now, do you what kind of topic do you want to talk about now? The beginning of the universe, or the expansions of the universe?
If Puna, can you pick a topic for us?
Yes, let me try.
Not science.
No.
Do you want to propose a new topic, Phoebe?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Oh,
Okay, back to you, Shiba.
But scientific. I don't want to talk about science.
Science, okay. Then, so
Yes, actually to talk about science, we will need mesh vocabulary.
yeah.
Oh, don't worry much. You can still try to use whatever you have in conversations. So that's kind of like misconception that you need to learn a lot to communicate with people, but actually you don't need to. You just like need to listen and ask questions, and then you can learn from the conversations. And you just need to know some language functions, like one to respond and one to ask questions and one to listen. Yep.
Yeah, I have a topic. This is a bit sensitive, but I really want to know your opinion about, giving money to the poor one, like the beggars, like, but I strongly disagree with that. I mean, like, yeah, I sympathize with them, but, they have to,
Work.
yeah, they have to work. They have to work, they have to survive on their own. Like, if you give a child, like, money, they will continue to do that in the future. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, yeah, if you see a child begging for money, would you give it to them?
Yeah, not just that topic. Every topic is controversial if we look at it. So for that topic, I would say it depends. So I'm really I believe in context.
Yes.
So we need to look at the context, and we need to be flexible how we respond to that kind of situation. So the first context, I'll give you a few different scenarios. So the first one will be like you see a child and all alone and hungry, and then apparently you can see that child is hungry and sad or tired, or like poor looking child. And then you could say, oh yeah, I'll buy the child some drinks and water, or maybe some food, and give some money. Or the second scenario will be like the child is okay, looking happy and jolly, and running around and asking for money, and then you could obviously see an adult is supervising or accompanying the child. See the scenario one and scenario two, they are two different different scenarios. And then sometimes it could be like your mood as well. Like if you're in a good mood, you would just like, yeah, I'll give a few notes to beggars or those poor people,
Yeah.
and that will probably give you a sense of superiority, which makes you feel nicer and makes you feel good. A sense of superiority. Or sometimes you just like to give things away because it just how do I say who you are. Just because of the way you are, you like to give people money or other items, because so if people have like four different types of people, like giver, so giver and taker, you have heard of them, right?
Yeah.
So in the giver side, they are like agreeable giver and disagreeable giver, and in the taker side you could say agreeable taker and disagreeable taker. So like agreeable taker would be like give in the context of agreeableness, maybe that's the word. So disagreeable giver will like, if you have like $100 and you probably give the entire dollar to a homeless person. You don't think about your whatever you need to do with the money. Agreeable giver will be like, oh yeah, I have $100, maybe I could just give him $10 so that he could live for maybe 8 more hours or 24 more hours, and then the $90, that person will use it for themselves. So anyway, so back to the main point. I think it's entirely up to you and the context.
Yeah.
And then if you think you would like to give, if you feel like you want to give to them, feel free. If you feel like you don't want to at all, don't. And you don't need to feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing will be even if I don't want to give them anything, or I can't give them anything, I'll always give them some interaction. Could be like a smile, or could be a conversation, or could be a message like go away. Simple. So yeah, you can just smile at them and say no. Be decent, or you could just say, no, I don't have money right now, I don't want to give, just go away. That's it. What about you?
Well, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, yeah. Actions always have what? Consequences. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to ruin someone's life by making them a beggar. Yeah. I have heard of no, I have read of a book that said like a child is shaved before he was 9. So yeah, I think that's really important. And yeah, kind of.
Well, there are some other contexts that we didn't explore earlier. What if they are handicapped? They don't have able body, so that they cannot work,
Yes.
right? They can move around, they can lift items and stuffs. So how could they work? They don't have arms or legs. How could they work, right? So they don't have able bodies, and then that's another scenario, right? If they can work, their only choice would be begging for money. From my experience, so when I was in medical university, we did some charitable works, and like every month we would like chip in 2,000 chat every month. Around like we got 700 students from 4 different universities, and then we would like allocate the money to 4 places like orphanage and aged care and that school for gifted children. In other words, for blind and deaf children's, and the leprosy hospital. So in the leprosy hospital, they would employ those handicapped people to do items for the villages around the hospital. Like it could be containers, metal containers, or it could be like some swords and knives and all those stuffs and chairs, and then they make a living at that hospital, and they contribute that money to hospital. So different scenario, and also the book you read
Yeah.
could be biased, subjective,
Yeah.
because people can change at any point of life, not until 9. You know, it will be really funny if you just think like, hey, after 9 years old or 10, when they get 10 years old onwards, they won't grow up or they won't change. That would be silly to think. People can change at any time. And what do you guys think of that topic? That conversation?
As long as I have money, I would give them.
You will give them money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that is depend on my situation because sometimes, when I go out, I may take some money or not. So, if I have some money and that, I pay them.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like you need to emphasize, like I want to say that even they are different from us, like education different, they don't know how to work or how to get money. So that is the reason, I guess.
The perceptions and the mental capacity level or the intellectual level,
Yeah.
they will see the world differently, and they could be lazy, or they could be there are many other things that we can't see and we don't know. And of course some people will be correcting that, they would just like steal kids and then make them act like foster child or foster children, and then they would just ask those kids to go and beg for them, and that's also a real issue. So it just depends. So I used to think about that too and see, hey, what can I do about that? Or I stopped donating or offering them those few change. But then again, when I see different scenarios, I was like, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't hurt them. Like giving them about like $200 doesn't make me poor and doesn't make them rich. So I just like, I think I want to feel good sometime. I just donate it to them. Sometimes I was like, that poor being, here's the money for you. 200 jet is nothing these days, but still, collective effort. If they just like collect $200 like 500 times, it could be 100,000 jet, right? So, good. What about next one?
What I mean?
Because you have these brilliant ideas. For me, I guess it's like good and bad thing are just like a complex matter. And for me, we just need to do the right thing. Yes. For Suba, it is a bad thing, but for us, it is just good. So it's just our perspective, complex matter. So the main part is we just need to do the right thing.
Okay, anyone has any topics you guys want to talk about?
No.
No questions?
do you believe afterlife?
Do I believe in afterlife?
Yeah.
It's just opinion and it's just beliefs. And then it's strange that question came from you because you were just saying like live in the moment, live in the present, right?
No, I mean it is like people are talking about afterlife and ghosts. That's why I'm curious.
Yeah, so afterlife is about the future, right?
Yeah.
And if you're living in the present, you don't need
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
about
I
the
know what
afterlife.
I know what I think about that. What's your belief?
So it's gonna go really deep and spiritual, and I'm saying this as much as from scientific point of view. So the beginning of the universe and it's expanding, right? And nobody knows the beginning of universe, and according to the religions, historically speaking, Hinduism is the oldest, and then Buddhism, and then Christianity, and then Islam, right? So like different religions defined afterlife differently. Some people would say like there's no afterlife, right? Some people will believe like yes, God has plans for you in the heaven or the kingdom, you know, whatever you would say that. Or Buddhists would say nirvana is the end of all sufferings and all these stuffs. But now, scientifically speaking, scientists are exploring afterlives and spirituality and hypnosis and vibrations and they call it transcendence as well. So now this newly formed belief, well, not so new, it was like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, about that time. So everything is connected. Like since the very beginning of the universe, everything is connected. Like yesterday, we were talking about meat turning into a cooked meal and then turning into our body tissue and like all those things, right? So even so, like so we breathe in air, right, oxygens, and then we breathe out carbon dioxide, and then the trees breathe in and then the breathe out, right? And also when we die, our body's gonna become kind of decompose, and then it's gonna how do I say, spread out in the water or in the soil or whatever it is, right? So these are scientific matters, right? And then now people are using science to explore afterlife based on the known facts. So we learn about matters, we learn about atoms, right? We learn about particles and all these stuffs. And so people are now saying that people are using science to separate body and mind. So in Buddhism we will call it yo-nen, right? So body and mind, and in neuroscience, and they are connected, but at the same time can be separated. It's like if you're too stressed, your body got the symptoms, like you got headache or you got stomach ache or whatever it is, because your body is stressed. Sorry, your mind is stressed and your body feels the stress. At the same time, if you are having a pain or stomach ache or whatever it is, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus, right? So these are also scientific facts. And now people are saying that afterlife do exist, but different forms. Like in religions would say like this life is like a chapter, right? And then you come into this chapter and then you go out of this chapter and you keep going. But this is just the chapter or the container or the box, and you don't know where you came from. while you're here and you don't know where you will go while you're here. That's one belief. Another one is like your body and mind. Your body dies, but your mind can stay alive. It can transcend from one place to another, from one object to another. So, and some are trying to claim that we live in a matrix.
Yeah.
We live in a matrix because our visible range and the audible range are limited.
Yeah.
So there could be people around us, but we just don't see it.
Mhm.
You know, we just don't see them. I mean people, not ghosts and spirits. I mean people. They could be around us, but we just don't see them because we're in a different vibration. You know, like
Yes.
that. So there are many theories about afterlife now. So you could just die and then turn into different being and then live on. And then you will die again and then turn into different being and live on. So in Buddhism, let me try to connect this science with Buddhism now. In Buddhism, we have that thing called 31 levels. Those are the poem, right? So human being is one of them, right? And then we could be animals, we could be, spirits, we could be ghosts, we could be guardians or, angels or whatever we would call that. So science and religions. And so nirvana is at the end of all sufferings because all beings have sufferings, good or bad. So afterlife, I do believe it exists, but I don't know what the form, what the form we will be in after this life. And some people will claim that is not the end, it is the end of the chapter and beginning of the new journey. So yeah, I do believe afterlife exists, but I don't know how and what it looks like. Cool. Any other questions? I mean, this should be speaking sections and you guys should be talking, not me.
Now you gotta go on.
What about you? What do you believe, Phoebe?
I don't believe in afterlife
You don't believe in why?
because in Bible there's no.
No
After.
afterlife? Okay.
Mhm.
You don't believe in it either? Do you?
I believe in it.
You believe in afterlife? How and why?
Just like you said, I think everything is connected. Even if I die, my energy is still here. So like it will form in another way.
Yeah. I'll get to you later soon. So think about this, like we look at, great people who are dead and then we could still get inspiration from them. Like Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi or, other well-known people like Einstein, so we could still draw their energy.
Yeah.
Like we look at them and then suddenly we feel motivated, or we look at them suddenly we feel like we want to take actions to do something good. So in that sense, they don't actually die. They live in people's heart.
Yeah.
Or we could define that as an afterlife.
Yeah.
Like say if we don't really believe there is no such thing as afterlife, right? But we die and then people live on. People as in other people who live on, and then we will be in their hearts. So we don't actually die. So that leads to my I was thinking about watching cartoons every fortnight or every week, depending on your progress, right? Your study progress. So I was exploring the cartoons last night, and then the movie Coco came out.
Coco.
Have you guys
Yeah.
seen that, the
Yes.
Mexican one?
Yeah.
So they have that belief that you don't actually die
Yeah.
if at least one person remembers you.
Remember.
Say if you are getting married and getting kids, you know, your child, your grandchild, and your great grandchild, they live on, and then they might remember you. Oh, my great grandma, great granddad. You don't actually die.
Yeah.
And then if you build a legacy, you will never die.
Mm-hmm.
Your body might die, your name, your energy, and everything lives on. What about you? What do you think?
Yes, actually, I believe in the life after. Because I am the really Buddhist, and yes, actually, I can give any details about the thing I can see, I can touch. Yeah, so.
You don't believe about them? Or?
No, I believe this, but it may exist or not. I don't know. Yes, because I can touch it, I can see it. Yes.
Like you cannot prove it, right?
Yes.
You cannot prove it, but it might exist, or it may not exist. Good. All right. Now you guys propose questions. You two.
No. Today I hasn't answered that question.
Oh yeah, you haven't. Good point. What's yours?
Yes, for my reply, yes, if I think logically, in the physics, energy is change. And so our mind, it might be transferred into another. That is what I think.
That's what you believe, like,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, for me, like, I don't really believe in the religion. It's like every religion just fiction story to guide our life better. Yeah.
What makes you think like that?
Yeah, because we don't know about it. It's just like we heard about the religion from our parent or like from our organization.
Your society,
Yeah,
the society you live in, pass on these
Yeah.
stories that may or may not be true.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. All right, now Phoebe and Apu now proposed questions. No questions? Phoebe?
I'm still thinking.
Still thinking. Do you want to transfer your questioning rights to Sweetbot?
Yes.
Now you got two questions. If you want to share one with Telling Ang, you are welcome to do that.
Yeah, I'll share.
What will be your question then?
Help me, please.
It could be any topic. It could be about any topic, you know.
Simple things.
It doesn't have to be serious.
What is your favorite time? Like your favorite moments or like your favorite things you do. Favorite things.
I'm hearing two parts in the questions. What do you exactly want to know?
Well, I'm not talking about like I am happy when I'm with my family or yeah, not that kind of stuff, but like really, really simple things.
Hmm. Like, what is time that I'm happy or?
Yeah, happy. Enjoy the most.
Happiness. Um, it could be a progress, or it could be a sense of achievements, or it could be um, a moment when something that I put much effort into come to fruition. So either one of those three situations, but in general, we could just say a sense of achievement. It's like I like to work. I mean, you guys can see that, right? I like to work, and when I work and I feel progress, and whenever I make a progress, I feel a sense of achievement, and that's what makes me feel happy. And now that I work in education, right? So my work contribute to your growth, and if I'm seeing your growth, that makes me feel happy because sense of achievements, right? I share something with you guys, and you guys use them, then cool, it's working. But that's a progress, and that makes me feel happy. What about you? What makes you feel happy?
When I walk.
When you what?
Walk.
When you work, like
Walk. Okay.
oh walk.
Walk. When I walk, when I run.
Hmm.
No, that we.
When I, like yeah. I'm happy to have like my hands, my legs, like yeah, if I don't have when I sprained my ankles like 1 month ago, I was really worried like, what if I have to cut my leg, then I don't think I would be really happy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So you're grateful that you have an able body.
yes.
Okay. What about you?
Yes, getting something that I always wanted. Yeah, that's really made me happy. And sometimes traveling with my family is really, really, traveling with my family is a really happiness for me.
Okay.
I'm happy when someone gives me blessings.
Give you presents. Okay.
Blessings.
Pleasant?
Blessings.
Oh, blessings. Okay.
Bless.
Blessings.
What is it?
It's like, how do you explain in Christianity?
It's like, no, like when you give someone money and they tell you, terima kasih.
Okay.
Yeah. My father blessing, yes.
It's like someone is wishing well for you, right? Yeah. Have a good life, have a nice car, have a wealthy business or healthy body, and those kind of things. Praying for you, wishing for you. What about you?
The question is
What is your happiness? What makes you feel happy?
Yeah. I don't think I have like kind of emotional happiness. I like how I say that. When I do something the right thing, I just be blessed or by that. I'm happy, the emotion or happiness.
You don't have it or you don't know yet.
No, maybe like emotional blindness.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not like that in terms of emotions. It could be like you're still exploring, or you don't
Oh, yeah.
have a specific terms of specific definitions of happiness yet. Because I watch a TED talk, and the speaker is a girl who escaped from North Korea, and she said she never learned the word love until she turned 21, and then she never felt the words she never felt love until, I don't know, 28 or 29 or 30 something. And definitely she never knew the word love and never felt it when she was in North Korea for like 21 years or so. So it's, when it comes to emotions and terms, like, most people do not understand that. So in the simplest way, we can say happiness is something that makes you smile, something that makes you feel good. That's the simplest meaning that we can use for the term happiness. If you feel good, you could say you're feeling happy in general. Like, say, if you eat something nice, it could be like, I'm happy, this is really delicious. Or if you're like with friends and enjoying something, like having a snack together, having a dinner or lunch together, and going around and exploring, doing adventures together, and that could also be happiness. Or with your friends, with your family, that could be happiness. Yeah. Now, the final question.
Well,
Who is going to ask?
I thought I would share with
Talina? Yeah, but still you can ask another question as well if you want.
No, sir. Thank you.
What do you mean, no sir, thank you? Any other questions? If you don't ask me questions, I will ask you guys questions.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't talk about our study.
But when I ask questions, that will be all about your studies, right? So would you rather would you rather ask me questions, or let me ask you questions? It's your choice. The choice is yours.
Well, I want to ask something. So you're an extrovert, right? Extrovert.
Okay, what is the question? Is that it?
Yeah. I just want to know. Phoebe is an introvert. Introvert.
Ambivert.
Ambivert. More like introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I really want to know why they want to spend time with others. Yeah. Like, I don't really get it.
Like extroverts spending time with others. Okay.
Like, I really enjoy spending time with others. Like, I'm really sad on my own, and yeah, I wonder what they're doing in their free time, their alone me time.
Like extroverts.
Introvert.
Introverts.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you extroverts?
Yeah.
Okay. And still don't get your question. What is your question? Articulate it.
Like, how do you find entertainment when you're not others? When you're not with others? Like, scrolling through your phones is like really boring.
All right. Anyone wants to take the question?
Yeah. Yes, I'm afraid of talking to other people, stranger. Like when I met my new classmate, I don't have enough strength to talk to them, and I just stay quiet in my chair, and if I talk to them, I'm afraid that they won't talk me back, and yeah, and then
Okay.
I feel happy when I'm alone.
When you're alone. What about you?
Yes, actually, I'm not a fully introvert because, yes, we have tests about our personalities at the start of the foundation course. So, yes, I am over 16% is introverts and over 15% is extroverts. Yeah, so I'm really trying to start this conversation with stranger, but with the peers, with the peers who are as close to me. So I'm really active to talk to them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you're more leaning towards introvertedness with extrovertedness, is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, for me, yeah, I can call myself introvert 70%.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I talk to someone, I need a reason. Like other introvert, they're talking fair, and others something like unnecessary. I don't want to talk about like that.
So you're also introverts.
Yes.
Okay. More introverts or less introvert? So what about you? Extroverts?
Yes.
What do you mean yes?
Like what?
How do you enjoy yourself?
Well, no. Well, yeah, I still don't get what they do in their free time. The lonely time. I still really don't get it. Watching movies, playing games, scrolling through your phone, all this stuff is so boring, you know. Like,
So what do you do for fun as an extrovert?
like, yeah, talk with others, and yeah.
Yeah, what? Is that all you do?
Yeah, yeah, like, I think I said the wrong thing when I say I'm really happy to have my own this body. It's no, I'm really happy when I can make other people smile, laugh, and yeah.
Yeah, but introverts can do that too.
Yeah, but
See, all these introverts are nodding. Yeah, yes. We can make people smile too. How dare you think that we can make people smile?
yeah, kind.
That's exactly what they said on their face. It's like we can make other people happy. How dare you say that to us?
Yeah, it's true, but
No, it's okay. So you can redefine your happiness as well, because things change and everything change in our life. The only consistent is change. Yeah, the only consistent is change. So yeah, tell us more about your happy moment or happiness as an extrovert.
well,
And then you will eventually understand them.
I'm really happy if I get to know them. Like, but if they don't want to talk about themselves, then I'm gonna dump them.
You're gonna dump them?
Yeah.
But they're your friends.
Well, if they don't want to share, then why would I? You know.
So you're not like 100% extroverts or more extrovert, because extroverts don't really care, in my opinion. Extroverts just like, yeah, whether you share or not, I will share mine. It's all about me and my life. So you introvert just listen to me. That's what extroverts do,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You guys experience extrovertedness, right? So extrovert will be like, hey, sit, listen, I'll talk, you listen. You're a good listener, introverts, thank you. I'll just talk about my life, you just listen, I don't care about your life. I'll just ask sometime, but I don't really care, you talk or not, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of true.
Well, you thought I am extrovert, I am not actually.
Really?
Well, I am originally introvert, and I challenge myself to change. And sometimes I'm still introvert, but I just learn to be extrovert with my introverts, if that makes sense. Like introverted extroverts, because like at the end of the day, if I work alone, if I socialize a lot, I got tired. I don't really want to see people. I don't really want to talk with anyone. Just want to watch movie and maybe just YouTube or listen to some music. That's what introverts do. Any explanation? No. We just like need alone time, me time, but then again, it's like we recharge differently. But sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes if I talk to people and if I, engage in social activities, I get energy as well. I can recharge myself as well, but it's selective. Sometimes you meet some extroverts and they are nasty, and you don't want to be around, those people, because those people generally drain your energy, and they will have like complete opposite view, like world view, and they will be really loud and inconsiderate, and yeah, and you don't really like them. It's not because they are extroverts or introverts. As I said earlier, agreeable people and disagreeable people, and giver and taker. So extroverts are more like takers, but again, agreeable taker or disagreeable taker. If they are like agreeable taker, they will take like, say they will take 10 things from you, but they will give you about 7 or 8. They will give them back. They are agreeable takers. They will still take from you and give you about maybe 50 to 60 or 80% back. And disagreeable taker, they will take everything from you and nothing in return, give nothing in return. So you feel depleted over time, you feel drained. Sometimes those people are called narcissistic, disagreeable takers. And on the giver side, more introverts, less extroverts, and agreeable givers. They will just give you to the extent that you can agree with them or agree to whatever they are giving. And as I said, disagreeable giver, sometimes they will give you like even like a piece of information or feedback that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. That's called the disagreeable giver. So they will tell you a nasty, unpleasant news or information that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear, like that. So, yeah, disagreeable giver got hated the most. But anyway, that's for another topic. So back to introverted and extrovertedness. So I forced myself to become extrovert in 2014, I think, 2013 or 14. I was like, I thought of myself really sociable and good with people, but that was before I realized that I was an introvert. I like to hang out with people, listen to cool story as an introvert in a social circle. And then when I realized that, I am like super introvert, so what can I do differently about that? Because if I want to survive, if I want to grow, and if I want to, live in Australia or, work, run a business, I gotta challenge myself. I gotta talk a lot with people, strangers, whether I like them or not. And if I don't, how do I communicate with people, and how do I run a business, or how do I work? So I think, yeah, since 2014, I challenged myself to talk to strangers. I challenged myself to do something that challenges me every day and that scares me every day. And some of them are quite painful, to be honest, like painful experiences, but necessary for my growth. And like, imagine you're being embarrassed in front of like about 100 or 200 people. You embarrass yourself and those kind of things, and imagine the nerve that you have to cope with before you speak to about 200 people. And also, yeah, having awkward situation, awkward conversations with strangers. And yeah, I did that. And how did I do? So if you ask, I would say I started talking to strangers and socialize with them, and I initiate the conversation intentionally. Like, say if I'm buying a coffee, I would talk to the barista, whether it's like a cool little boy, or a hot blondie, or a bearded old man, or whatever, whoever that is. I would just start saying like, hey, good morning, how's your day? Can I get a cup of coffee? And then, how long have you been working here for? And how long have you been making coffee for? How many cups of coffee do you sell every day? Or whatever the question is, just ask. And then sometimes if you feel a bit, if you're in a good mood, you could say, hey, that looks really nice, can I have a try? Can I have a piece of it? And try to make some jokes. And that's how you practice to get out of your comfort zone and try to be extroverts. And now I'm still introvert, but I know how to talk to strangers, how to initiate the conversation, and like that. But sometime at the end of the day, or after a long week, a tiring week, I would just like, nice and quiet time myself, and don't like to be disrupted at, in that one hour I am in that moment. Yeah. And for the introverts, it's difficult to have some conversations and don't know why. All right, so I think we should get ready for lunch.